Hey everyone, welcome to our explainer on the absolute game changer that is small business SEO in 2026. Look, the search landscape has completely flipped on its head. And if you're running a small biz right now, those old rules, they just don't apply anymore. Today, we're going to build your ultimate blueprint for navigating this wild new AI-driven search reality. It's time to stop trying to outspend the giant corporate budgets and start winning with smart, structured authority. So let's just jump right in with a pretty tough question. Are you honestly still doing 2024 SEO? Really take a hard look at your current digital strategy. If you're out there still just, stuffing keywords onto a page, writing these generic long-form blog posts, and chasing random backlinks, well, are you aware that you're functionally invisible today? Seriously, search engines have evolved so much, and the exact tactics that got you to page one just a couple of years ago, they are literally holding you back right now. Let's put a number on this stark reality. 80%. Over 80% of local searches now end in what we call a zero-click result. Think about that for a second. That means 8 out of 10 times someone is looking for a local business and they get their entire answer right there on the search page without ever actually clicking through to a website. They see an AI-generated summary, maybe a map pack, or a quick snippet. If your business is relying solely on actual website traffic just to be seen, you are missing out on the vast majority of your potential customers. Okay, so here's our playbook for 2026. We're going to quickly hit 1, the new search reality, 2, enter generative engine optimization, 3, EEAT, trust over keywords, 4, the multi-platform local ecosystem, 5, technical signals for AI, and finally 6, your 2026 action plan. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the new search reality. We really need a complete mindset shift here because search engines have officially morphed into answer engines, right? They don't just want to hand users a list of blue links anymore. No way. They want to interrogate your content and serve up a definitive single answer. The contrast between the old game and what we absolutely have to do now is literally night and day. That old game of optimizing individual web pages for specific keyword rankings, it is completely out. Now, the new necessity is all about building verified, trusted local entities. So instead of fluffy long-form blogs, AI wants atomic, answer-ready units of info. Instead of generic stock imagery, you need geotagged visual proof that your business is a real, active part of your community. And instead of just hoarding a huge quantity of backlinks, it is all about proving your genuine, undeniable expertise. Moving right along to section 2, enter generative engine optimization. Now, what's super fascinating about this whole shift is the entirely new strategy you've got to adopt if you want to be seen by AI at all. We have talked about SEO for decades, right? Well, welcome to the era of GEO. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, is the process of structuring your content specifically so that large language models, we're talking ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's Gemini, actually select and cite your brand as the answer. GEO means you're no longer just trying to rank a page on a search results screen. Actually, scratch that. It's more like you're structuring your information so cleanly and so authoritatively that an AI model confidently cites you directly as its ultimate source of truth. Check out this data from some recent research on generative engines. Adding direct expert quotes boosts your visibility by over 32%. And throwing in hard, quantitative statistics, that boosts it by almost 34%. When you combine those tactics, you can boost your overall visibility by up to 40%. 40%! For a small business, adding real data and direct quotes to your service pages is basically a free, highly effective way to completely crush larger competitors who are still out there using generic AI-written fluff. Which brings us to section 3, EEA, trust over keywords. So the absolutely crucial point here is knowing exactly how to make AI trust you in the very first place. You can format your data perfectly, sure, but if the AI doesn't genuinely believe you're a real expert, it is not going to cite you. And that brings us to the most human element of this whole thing, EEAT. There is a core concept you have got to remember. Search engines have one goal: connect users with results they can trust. In a world completely flooded with automated, AI-generated content, Google and the other engines use the EEAT framework. That stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. They use this to figure out if your content was actually written by a knowledgeable, living, breathing human being. They don't just read your site anymore. They actively look for proof that you actually do what you say you do. To prove you aren't just some AI bot churning out generic text all day, you really need to use this rapid-fire EEAT checklist. First up, reflect genuine firsthand experience. Talk about what you've actually tested, what failed miserably, and what you learned from it. Second, use real case studies and data. Remember that 34% visibility boost we just talked about? Exactly. Third, boldly display your author credentials and link to your professional profiles. Fourth, explain those complex topics clearly without hiding behind a wall of industry jargon. And finally, ensure every single factual claim you make is honest and 100% verifiable. This right here is exactly how a small business builds an impenetrable fortress of trust. Let's jump into Section 4, the multi-platform local ecosystem. Now let's explore where this shiny new trusted identity actually needs to live. Because folks, here is the huge wake-up call for 2026. Google is no longer the only game in town. Local search has completely fractured into a multi-platform ecosystem. While Google Business Profile absolutely still dominates search volume, 87% of consumers use it, it's massive, you simply cannot afford to ignore the other giants anymore. Apple Business Connect taps directly into a highly valuable ecosystem of over 2 billion active devices worldwide. We're talking about tech-savvy iOS users with really high purchasing power who are asking Siri for local recommendations or using Apple Maps in their cars. If you aren't verified on Apple today, you are completely invisible to a massive high-intent audience. Think of your local visibility as a giant pie. Since a whopping 60% of searches happen on mobile devices, creating a rock-solid, consistent presence across all these slices is mandatory. Google Business Profile, that's your primary foundation. Apple Business Connect, that is your high-value premium audience. And hey, don't forget Bing Places. Why? Because ChatGPT frequently pulls its real-time local context directly from Bing. The absolute key here is consistency. When an AI system cross-checks your brand across all these different platforms, it absolutely must see the exact same story repeated, with zero contradictions in your name, address, and phone number. All right, on to Section 5, Technical Signals for AI. Okay, so you've got your profiles all set up, and your content is incredibly trustworthy. Awesome. Now let's move to the invisible foundation that literally spoon-feeds this truth to AI models, your technical SEO. Currently, a staggering 47% of websites are failing Google's essential core web vitals thresholds, almost half. In 2026, technical performance isn't just a nice-to-have for user experience, it's a hard prerequisite for AI trust. If your loading speed, your LCP, is over 2.5 seconds, or your interactivity, your INP, is sluggish, or heaven forbid your site layout shifts around while it's loading, an AI engine is just going to pass you right over for a faster, more stable competitor. Your site absolutely must be secure, mobile first, and lightning fast, no excuses. And to absolutely guarantee that these AI systems flawlessly understand the context of your business, you've got to implement structured data. Specifically, you need to follow these exact steps to add local business schema markup directly into your website's code using JSON-LD. Think of this as a direct translation layer. Instead of making an AI guess what your business does by trying to read your paragraphs, schema markup explicitly hands the AI your business name, address, phone number, operating hours, and specific services. It does it in a language the AI natively understands. It's like giving it the cheat codes to your business. Finally, let's hit Section 6, your 2026 action plan. Okay, wow, we have covered some incredible ground in this explainer. We've looked at the death of old-school SEO, the rapid rise of geo, the absolute necessity of EEAT, the new multi-platform ecosystem, and your technical foundations. So let's tie this all together into a really empowering resolution for your small business. If you take away just one single concept today, please make it this. Local SEO is now brand distribution. That's the ultimate mantra for 2026. You aren't trying to outspend the corporate giants on ads, and you certainly aren't trying to trick some algorithm with keyword density. You are simply building the most consistent, authentic, and technically sound local authority everywhere your customers and their AI assistants happen to look. Just be a real expert, prove it with hard data, and distribute that truth consistently across Google, Apple, Bing, and your own highly performant website. I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought just to challenge how you view your digital strategy right this second. Is your digital footprint ready for an AI audit today? Seriously, if an answer engine scans the web right now looking for the best business in your niche, does your consistency, your expertise, and your technical speed prove that you are the absolute most trusted answer in your community? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly, highly encourage you to start upgrading your SEO playbook today.